In a league where they screw up everything, somehow they continue to screw up everything and top themselves each and every time. Do you guys know when the GM of the Year award is voted on?
I bet it was 2 minutes ago.
They vote on it at the end of the second round because that makes complete sense because the NHL runs this league. So they would pick this arbitrary point at the end of the second round. They say, all right, ballots are closed. Not at the end of the season or at the end of the playoffs. No, in the middle of the playoffs, where clearly you're going to get biased opinions because of recency bias, and the things that are happening in the playoffs affect the decisions of the voters. So you get maybe Marc Bergevin, who finished 18th in the regular season, become a GM of the Year candidate. It makes zero sense to hold voting at the end of the second round. And I don't understand why anyone would do that. That's all I want to say.
Can I say that I would say two of the three picks, God, maybe even three, don't make sense. But they are right to vote on this and only this award at the end of the second round.
Why?
That's my hot take today, because playoff performance matters.
So do it at the end of the playoffs.
Jesse, I'll meet you there.
Yeah,
I'll meet you there.
That's what I'm saying. Don't pick the middle of the playoffs.
The middle is silly.
That's all I'm trying to say.
I thought you were saying it should be at the end of the regular season.
No. I think it should be the day before free agency opens. Like go all the way to the draft. Do the full. If it's a GM award, also first of all, the GM of the Year award is the Stanley Cup. Like that's
Jeff Merrick quote.
That's where it goes. That's from Jeff Merrick. The
Speaking
GM
of which,
of the Year award.
We need to have him on.
Oh yeah.
No. Yeah, no.
We need to have Jeff on. We need to have Elliot on. We need to get these guys back on.
Let's
it's been
do it.
too long. I think it comes down to being afraid to ask. You know what I mean?
I'm not afraid to ask. What the hell?
I was afraid to ask. I remember when Chris Johnson first walked in. Like, remember the first episode with Chris Johnson? I was like, I cannot believe this man is making time for us.
This is like
remember
Rick
the first
James.
episode with David Alter? I was like,
orange.
like when we first had David Alter on back in the day, like before even Jesse was out, I was like, why would anyone make time for this show? You know what I mean? And it was just so, I kind of get like fearful of asking. Now CJ and I are friends like he is with all of us. And it's like, we can ask him, but you kind of get freaked out sometimes.
I bother American Frege all the time.
I'm Steve.
Sorry. I meant Jeffy Boy and E-Dog. As I call them.
So along those lines, okay, can I make the argument, Jesse, that I think that if you're going to make the vote GM of the Year, it's not GM of the regular season. Like Hart Trophy makes sense to vote on after game 82 because it's the best player in the regular season, or the most valuable player to their team. I get that. And then you get the Conn Smythe in the playoffs for the MVP of the playoffs. Why wouldn't you have it at the end of the Stanley Cup Finals and you include the previous year's draft, because those players, like when the Leafs drafted Austin Matthews, he played that year.
That's all I'm asking. Just don't put it in the middle of the playoffs. Put it at the end.
What did Lou do this year, big move wise?
I need to go look at this, because
what did the Islanders do? And it's not because the Islanders are, look at them. They're in the top four. Good for them. Mm-hmm. But
okay.
Don't you think that's on the players and Barry Trotz more than anything?
We can have a conversation about whether or not the trade for Devon Toews or trading away Devon Toews was good.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my question. What about trading Devon Toews made the Islanders better?
I don't think that made them better necessarily.
Well, exactly. Right. And that's like one of the most significant moves they made. So they traded him to Colorado for a 2021 second, and it's supposed to be a pretty odd draft, and a 2022 second. That's for Devon Toews. Now, they did it for cap reasons, so you could say, well, it makes them better because of the cap. Mm-hmm. Okay, fine.
Well, if there's an absence of evidence, that doesn't necessarily mean that the truth is there. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. So here,
just because you don't have evidence doesn't mean that you can make that decision.
Lou also acquired Palmieri and Zajac at this trade deadline.
He did.
Okay,
that's the thing that happened.
They've made 5 deals since the end of last season. They got AJ Greer for Kyle Burrows. They got 2 seconds for Devon Toews. They traded future considerations for Dmytro Timashov.
Oh, there's a name.
And then they ditched AJ Greer, who they got from the Colorado Avalanche, along with Mason Jobst, a 2021 first and a 2022 conditional for Kyle Palmieri and Travis Zajac. And they also acquired Braden Coburn from the Sens for a 2022 seventh. So, like, did he get nominated for GM of the Year because they got Palmieri, Zajac, and are in the Final Four?
Yeah. Also, Lou won it last year. I don't know if you guys remember.
He did.
He was the GM of the year last year for doing not much either.
Well, he got Varlamov to replace Leonard.
Last year, you mean? I was like,
Yeah.
you did? That was
No, last year.
and he signed Barzal in the offseason.
I mean, I think if you're looking at the teams that did the best, the idea that the Lightning, like Brisebois, is not in there with the magician shit that he pulled. Are you kidding? Like, really? And I'll give Bill Zito credit. I think Bill Zito deserves some credit for managing that situation because, listen, it's not easy to say we're not dressing our $10 million goaltender. We have two others that are better. You know, like I don't think Bill Zito even signed that contract. I think that wasn't that a Dale Talon? But
No, it wasn't Zito. It wasn't Zito. Yeah, so it
wasn't
must
Zito.
have been Talon.
So, you know, and then I look at what I mean, I honestly the problem I have with it too is that it ignores all the teams that didn't make the playoffs that had great years. Like I'm not trying to take away from Bergevin, because I actually think Marc Bergevin probably had the best offseason of any general manager, especially with Toffoli. What a great pickup that's been. And I think the Josh Anderson deal, it was surprising how many people were cool with it. I'm still not convinced, but it was a bold move, and he moved a depreciating asset.
Wasn't very good.
The team wasn't very good, but Max Domi wasn't working out. He was able to get a good player for him. And look at what, and maybe this is coming in the future, but look at what the Senators were in the back half of the season. How is Pierre Dorian not in there?
I'm trying to find
who votes on this. The writers?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. I'm trying to find. I thought it was Wish, but I guess not. Dorian did get votes.
The voting for the
or was
award.
it DJ Smith? I think it was DJ Smith got for coach.
Voting for the award is conducted among league GMs and a panel of league executives and media following the second round.
Okay, this is wild. Sorry. For coach of the year, DJ Smith was tied with John Cooper and John Hines. What? Okay. Yeah. John Cooper. He's him and DJ Smith. They are the same.
Yeah. What is your criteria?
There's one coaches a team that finished second last in their division, and the other is the coach of a team in the Final Four who won the cup last year. I don't know. It's just the criteria is team that overachieved.
But it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. That's why I'm like, okay, if you look at who's building, I think the GM of the year's got to go, at least one guy's got to get in there who's building the team of tomorrow. And that's why I think Dorian should have got some consideration for that. Like that,
Yeah.
the Sens were if the Sens had played that way all year, they're in the playoffs. They are. No, the record is what it is.
No, I know.
Had they gone to 82, the Sens are probably going to make the playoffs.
They're an interesting team for next season because, like, the discussion I heard, I can't remember what show it was on, but it was basically like once we return to normal divisions, the Leafs are going to be in tough to make the playoffs even next season.
Well, because you've got Tampa, Boston, Florida, and Montreal in your division, and then Buffalo, Detroit.
And then Buffalo, Detroit, just forget it. Like, I believe it or not, expect both teams to take a step. Even Buffalo after they trade Eichel.
Detroit will. Buffalo will not. Buffalo's going to take a step back this year. They're going to get worse.
From what? A step back from what?
They are hinging. Friedge said yesterday on a radio hit that he thinks the Buffalo staff see this draft as a way for them to have an edge because no one's taking it seriously, which I think is a kind of a good strategy for a team with no options. Like, this is the one option available to them.
Here's what no one's considering. It's hockey and nothing makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm thinking Buffalo's going to make the playoffs.
That's true. It's a good point.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, Jesse, I think you make a really good point. It's super silly and it doesn't make a lot of sense.